fit at 50. Fit at 50. Fit at 50. I have to remind myself I'm actually this old. Fit at 50. I have to keep saying this. You know, a decade ago I was saying fit at 40, and it didn't really hit me that hard. But now when I say fit at 50, that carries a little bit of weight, but not in a not in a bad way, but in the sense that, damn, I have actually been on this planet for a half a century. So I am very, very blessed, very, very lucky to be here. Bear with me, guys, as I'm adjusting my gimbal here. I didn't plan to come out today and record this video, but something inside me said, you know, you're breaking 550 subscribers, and now inching over that mark, so come out and celebrate, right? So, and of course, as I say this in my head, I'm like, I have seen so much of life that it would be so unfair for me to let another day go by and not post a video, right? But this is less about me posting a video. It's got everything to do with, I'm turning on my watch here. I always forget to track my steps when I start recording my video, and my watch just goes off, right? If you have an Apple Watch, it'll just kind of ring you and say, do you want to track your steps? So I'm tracking my steps, and I'm in a good habit of tracking my statistics, especially walking and all the activities, because I'm very numbers based. And when I see metrics, right, measurements, psychologically, it's like I know I'm accomplishing. And given the fact that these watches and, you know, equipment that we use to measure ourselves is not 100% accurate, but it does get you pretty close. I would say 80% accuracy is my guess. So here I am, you know, talking about this, celebrating my 550 subscribers on this channel. It's been an extremely slow growth, but again, I'm not complaining, because the journey is really the championship and not the so the destination is the final product. What is the final product? The final product is never ending, because when you get your abs, when you get a 6-pack, a 4-pack, or a 2-pack, when you lose 50 pounds, 40 pounds, right? There's another hurdle to climb, and that's life, right? Once you reach that mountaintop, once you reach that goal that you set, right, you're gonna hit another level. Like you're always gonna want to push for more, and that's what I'm saying. Life is a never-ending journey, and just like this walk, it's a never-ending walk. Like today is a gift, right? So I am blessed to have today. I took today for granted. I didn't do a whole lot, but yet I did a whole lot, if that makes sense. It's like I was good on my diet. I didn't really go out and party. I didn't really go out and slam down alcohol. I actually did none of that. I had intentions to go to the strip, as you can see. Oh, by the way, fruit marks. That's blueberries. Frozen blueberries, obviously, as I'm eating frozen blueberries, it spilled on my t-shirt, and that sent me spiraling down a rabbit hole saying, hey, you know, that's going to stop you from recording the video, is because of this little stain here. So you can see my psyche, and I'm talking you through how, you know, little things like this, procrastination, can compound over time and keep you locked into your comfort zone. So I'm all over the map on this one, right? But am I really? Am I really? I mean, I'm showing up, I'm walking, I'm putting in the steps, putting in the miles, and I'm kind of talking through this journey. So, you know, I look at every day as a gift. The older I get, every day is a gift, and you have to almost make a conscious decision. I can't even get my words straight, of what you'd like to do with the 24 hours that are given to you on a day-to-day basis, right? And so with me living in Vegas, right, I have a choice to go out on any given night and get into the thick of the storm and get into all kinds of mess out here on the strip, right? But it's not something I choose to do. It's not something that's calling my name anymore as such, right? Because I know that Monday through Friday, it's the habits that I'm sort of committed to, not sort of, but like really dedicated to. It's managing the weekend, and I've made a video on how you can win your weekends. I think a lot of damage can be done over the weekend if you don't watch it and if you go overboard. And so with me, right now, I'm kind of at a phase and going through a phase and at a juncture in my life where prioritizing my sleep and getting ready for that after a good day, right? Saving my body, saving my energy, and making a conscious choice to manage my sleep, manage my anxiety, put in the work, training, all of that to make this day successful. Like you got to squeeze the juice out of each and every single day, is what I'm saying. Like coming out today was a challenge for me mentally, and not for any other reason that I was in my own head. This work week itself was a very long work week. I'm still adjusting to the new job that I just got in the corporate world. And we're all fighting a battle, right? I mean, some of us, like, showing up is really half the battle, as they say. So how you show up every single day really does define your character, guys. It really defines your character. Like if you think about this, the things we take for granted are the most beautiful things that we can indulge in. And a lot of times the answers are right there for us, with us, and in front of us, and we choose to ignore it. For example, right? I am walking right now. I have made walking a habit. 10,000 steps every single day for almost a decade now. I've been doing this. But I would say consistently doing so since 2020, when the pandemic hit us, right? That's when I really dialed in my walking habits and hygiene and good basically habits that make you successful, make you locked in, right? You're sort of dedicated to it, but then you can also manage to have a good time and not fall off, provided you're consistent every day. So what I'm telling you is nothing new. This is the lifestyle that I've been living. Why am I sharing it on all this kind of a machine gun fire approach? Is because when you get to this age, you realize that what worked for you yesterday, a lackluster effort yesterday, is not going to get you to your goal with that same mindset today. Meaning that who you were at 40, who you were at 30 is not the same person you will be at, let's just say, 5 years from wherever you are, 10 years from wherever you are. That's a long time. I've seen a lot of people pass away. I've seen a lot of people, a handful of good acquaintances and friends that I used to know, that have passed, that have moved on to the next stage in their lives, and due to health issues and unforeseen circumstances, right? So this is why I have begun to document my journey in this space, and how I show up every single day, and how I gift myself another day, right? You earn, championships are earned, right? What is the goal that you're chasing? What does that ring look like for you? What does that championship look like for you? My answer to all of this was and is and always remains is the relationship I have with myself within. Like I'm hitting this emotional chord right now, unplanned. I have no words to describe how I'm able to speak all of this words into existence and putting my thoughts as it comes, right? It's always the battle. The battle is always within, right? It's not even a matter of question of I'm asking you, right? Because a lot of us are actually fighting a silent battle within. All of us. It's precisely a major reason why I detoxed off social media and have reduced my scroll time, which is causing me extreme acute anxiety. And there's something that's called the brain rot, right? We're so glued to our phones. We're so tied, right? Not tired, tied to the phone, the light, the dopamine hit of scrolling and getting the likes that I talk about. That's draining for me. It takes a lot of energy from me, and maybe it's just me getting older, but I felt some of this actually 10 years ago when social media was just up and coming. And so in perspective and relative, in relation to time, a lot of these feelings that I have were existing even when I was in my 30s. Like I knew that the toxicity, the vices that I'm, addicted to, these are short-term dopamine hits that's taking my focus away. And the way these things and tools and technology is designed today, it was nothing like what it used to be during my time. I'm a Gen X, so there's a lot I've seen by way of technology that's come up and kind of changed the culture, kind of, right? Like in a big way, in a massive way. It's almost taken our health away from us, mental health, right? That's a big one, right? So you don't just get to this age and not talk about all of these things and what's made me successful, right? You have to make a decision of cutting out certain things in your life that's really not adding up. That's really not adding any value to your life, right? You have to cut these things out, and some of this entails cutting off, you know, your pleasure, your guilty foods, your relationships with people, with family, with friends that you have outgrown, spaces, right? People you need to cut off from your life, toxicity, all of these things, right? It kind of all goes. If you're not losing people as you're getting older, you're not growing. And there comes a stage in your life, if you choose to get married, I am one. I'm one. I am for one that doesn't really believe in that institution, because unless the laws change for me personally, I think it's a one-sided affair. It's a really bad deal for any man. I don't care how old you are, whether you're 20 something, 30, 40, 50, 60, however old you are, and you decide to get, it's a horrible deal for men. It's a financial institution, right? That's kind of banking on it not working out, and most don't work out, and most that do aren't actually fully happy. So I am just expressing nothing but gratitude at this very moment here. Now, do I have some nicks and tucks? Yes. I still have my right shoulder that's bothering me, my rotator cuff. I'm fighting through that by engaging in stretching routines and exercises. I do this frequently. I talk about stretching a lot on my channel, but most importantly, the gift of being able to walk every single day and take my 10,000 steps is something I don't take for granted, right? That's the least you can do. So when I say fit at 50, that sounds heavy, right? But it's almost like I've arrived here at this numeric, this number, and I got no choice but to go through it. Meaning that at the core of everything that I'm doing right now is no different than what I was doing 10 years ago. What are the things I'm doing differently today? It's my diet. Nutrition is number one. I've got that thing dialed in pretty good. I mean, I do fall off on some days when the sugar craving hits, right? And a lot of that has to do with lack of hydration and lack of sleep and high stress. But I don't fall off to the point where obesity is a factor for me. If I'm doing this every single day, the chances are, the consistency factor of showing up every single day, day in, day out, I'm going to be winning this battle. And the battle a lot of times is in the mind. And if your mind is not straight, right, you are going to fall victim to your vices. And some of us binge eat, some of us indulge in, you know, a lot of the food, the comfort food that spikes dopamine and takes care of your emotional needs and emotional eating, that tub of ice cream, the you know, the full bar of chocolate or whatnot. And you'll realize that you really don't need a whole lot of those foods to make you feel good. Sometimes, you know, just a bite or two will satisfy the initial cravings. And I would just say, even keep it simpler. You know how eating protein, right? I know it sounds cliche, but eating protein will keep you busy, will keep you engaged, and it's almost going to be a full-time job. It's not going to be boring, because some of these foods are very delicious. On the next video, I'm going to share some of my meal prepping, which I've done these videos already, but it doesn't hurt to kind of provide another update. It's always good to mix up your nutrition and make it interesting with the vegetables and the sauces, right? Low caloric sauces. And I've shared all this before in my other videos, but I've actually been shooting and taking clips of just the recent videos, and I've actually made my meal preps a lot easier by purchasing lean chicken and steak cuts, right? They're nicely diced, and all you got to do is open it up and pop it in the pan and stir fry it with frozen vegetables, and it's good to go. That's meal prepping for me. And you'll find that in order to, when you find your formula, right, your recipe for success, you'll realize that you're eating the same foods day in and day out. And that kind of structure, I think it's going to serve you well. So at the end of the day, you have to find what works for you. And none of this is really hard, guys. None of this is really that difficult. Getting fit and, you know, this fitness lifestyle, this wellness, all of this is pretty straightforward. We get in our own way. And I've said this in many different ways, and I know this has been shared on countless other YouTube channels, is that, you know, if you don't get your nutrition, if you don't get your meals and your diet in order, you're not going to outwork and outtrain that in any given year, in any kind of resolution. Because in your diet, in your nutrition, as in taking in content, right, absorbing material from the external, you have to manage your diet, your nutrition, what goes into your body. That's going to determine your end results, right? It's going to complement your training. So, guys, I know I'm all over the place in this video, but you just can't cover all of this in just one video. So this is why when I start recording, in my head, when I drove out of the house, my place, I was like, wow, you know, numerically, when I look at this number seems high, like, damn, I'm old. But you have to step into it and own it. Wherever you are in your life, you have to step into that and own it. And this could be a great time for you to intercept your own life and step into your weaknesses, recognize them, accept them, and stop blaming others and stop projecting someone to come and rescue you, because nobody will. They're not there to do that for you. It's your job, and I know life is unfair, and some of us have it way worse. I believe in this mantra that as long as you can control your health, you have what you need to start off and begin your journey. You work with what you have right then and there. It's choice, and that's become my default mode. You know, showing up for me is now 70-80% of the battle, because I know once I jump into that cold water and I cross that line, meaning that once I start, everything that I've done is all discipline. Like, it just second nature. It always starts with the one rep. Always starts with that first step. Always starts with the one sprint incline, right? First glass of water, right? First protein meal. It's always that first. And it's a matter of taking that step. So there's so many ways to get here, right? At this stage where I'm at, and I may be making it look easy. And you know what? It's actually easy. Discipline is a relationship with yourself. And the more I found myself, the more liberated and the more happier I became in life. Be sure to check out and run through my playlists. There's a lot of material there that I talk about that you may find useful in this thing called life, okay? Guys, I'm losing lighting, so until the next video here, I'm gonna call it, go home, walk my dog, and get ready for bed. It's a Saturday, and I'm looking forward to my sleep, guys. Okay, sleep is growth. Sleep is where testosterone is boosted, right? In recovery, muscle repair, muscle cell generation, all of these good things happen. No alcohol. I don't need alcohol to experience the high that I'm experiencing right now. Okay, till the next video, Mamba out.